Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on rule of law and management of conflicts. Last time, we discussed alternative methods of conflict resolution. I'm sure that you can recall our discussion of negotiation, mediation, arbitration, and litigation. Today's lesson will focus on criteria for evaluating rules and laws. If you are ready, students, we will begin the lesson. Let us review what we studied last time. Students, please explain the meaning of negotiation, mediation, arbitration, and litigation. Begin whenever you are ready.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Well done, students. Negotiation involves direct discussion between the parties involved in a dispute. It does not involve any outside party in its process. Mediation is a method of settling disputes that involves a neutral third party who tries to help the disputing parties to reach a mutually agreeable solution. Arbitration is a means of applying legal principles to a controversy within limits previously agreed upon by the disputing parties. Finally, litigation is a legal process called a lawsuit undertaken between two parties in conflict. It is based upon formal procedural rules. As you know, conflict arises naturally in human interactions. It occurs when people find themselves opposing one another in opinion or interests. Interests can diverge for many reasons. Some reasons for conflict include resources, power, identity, status, values, and beliefs. Resources can cause conflict when people dispute over the ways that territory, water, energy sources, and food should be distributed and used. Power causes conflict when people dispute over the allocation of political control and decisions. Identity concerns the cultural, social, and political communities to which people are connected. Identity causes conflict when people feel it is under threat. Differences in status cause disputes when people believe that they are not being treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. Values and beliefs can cause tension between people because they are deep-rooted and can sometimes come into conflict, particularly those embodied in government, religion, or ideology. Rule of law helps to ensure that conflicts are managed peacefully. Laws and rules help conflict resolution to be efficient and effective. Students, what is the difference between laws and rules?
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, everyone. It is not always easy to distinguish between laws and rules. Let us start with laws. Laws are primary legislation enacted by Parliament. They cannot be challenged except where they are in conflict with constitutional rules. Rules are secondary legislation enacted by offices lower than Parliament, such as the Council of Ministers or ministries mandated to do so. They cannot contradict ordinary laws. Some organizations and associations also make rules to govern the behavior of their members. Let us now talk about ways of evaluating rules and laws. Understanding how laws are made helps us to judge whether or not they are fair, clear, and easy to follow. We can also determine whether they contradict rule of law or social values. Here are some criteria for evaluating rules and laws. Firstly, they must be fair. This means that it is necessary for them to be impartial, just, and equitable. They must be free from bias or prejudice. Rule of law means that everyone is equal under the law. Therefore, laws do not apply to individuals or specific groups. Rather, they objectively apply to everyone. If rules and laws are fair, they will protect people from harsh treatment as well as guard against favoritism. Another important way to evaluate rules and laws is to determine whether they are easy to understand. They must be stated clearly and be free from jargon or specialized language. They must not be ambiguous or vague, because it is important that they not be misinterpreted. They must be carefully designed to achieve political, social, and economic development. They should also be able to develop as circumstances change. They should be clear so that people know what is expected of them. This way, people can conduct themselves according to what is expected. It is also important that rules do not violate other values. They should not discriminate between different cultures or interfere with cultural values. Finally, rules and laws must be possible to follow. Students, why do you think this is important?
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back. Rules and laws must be possible to follow so that people are realistically able to live up to their expectations. If they are not possible to follow, they are unfair because they place a burden on the people that is too heavy. Rules and laws must therefore avoid being irrelevant, too specific, ambiguous, or obstructive of cultural values. If a law has these qualities, the people will find it difficult to respect the law, which could lead to disobedience. Students, this is the end of our lesson on the criteria for evaluating rules and laws. In our next lesson, we will learn about the judicial protection of the rights of individuals. Until next time, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.